Welcome to the Pirate MIDI January 2026 update, where we fill you in on what's been going on and what's coming up next. If you're new here, at Pirate MIDI, we design and manufacture devices to take your pedalboard or studio setup to the next level. So what have we been up to? Well, a lot. We enjoyed a little bit of downtime over the New Year and Christmas break, but the back end of December, well, all the way through December, we were working really hard on giving the pole lineup a bit of a spruce up. So when we first did the Polar lineup, we had the Pico, Mini and Plus, and then later on the Max. And these were designed to be as easy to get up and running from a design standpoint, because we weren't really sure of the reception. We weren't sure how popular they would be. So we didn't want to invest a ton of time and money into, kind of going the full slog on something completely custom, especially when the foundations of it are Greg Smith's amazing software, or firmware, I should say, development, is open source. And so we wanted to try and build something around that. And again, we didn't know what the reception of this was going to be like. And it was huge. You guys have loved the Polars. They've been amazing, but the original designs presented a few challenges. Namely, they were built around the existing WaveShare board. So the ESP32S3 with the 1.69 display and the WaveShare Zero built around, again, the same ESP32 but no display. And that's what the original Pico used. And this was fine. It worked really well, but it wasn't ideal from a manufacturing perspective. The carrier board was designed around this WaveShare Zero so that we could just get a design up and running, really quickly at fairly low input effort. But manufacturing it was tough. Like, you've got this module that can't be placed by machines, so we had to hand place them. And whilst, it was a really good design, it was quite slow and cumbersome, and also a little bit less reliable when you're talking about, making stuff in larger volumes. So this is the old Pico enclosure. Not too bad. This is the new Pico enclosure. This thing is tiny. Teeny tiny. It's the same width, but it's smaller in both the width and also the height. And it's got an extra 3.5mm port here for MIDI out, so it can do MIDI through. So if you've got two Tonex ones, you can have two Picos or a Pico and a Mini or whatever it is, and rather than, if you want to send the same MIDI to them, rather than needing a MIDI splitter and then sending that in and it's just more gear, now you can just daisy chain the MIDI from the MIDI out into the MIDI in of your next device. It's really, really cool. And this extra port is coming to the new Mini as well as the new Plus. So very excited to share those with you. But the new Polar Pico, it's ready to go, shipping now. This thing is tiny, and it's got a much more efficient design to improve the overall reliability during larger manufacturing runs, make it easier to assemble, as well as minify it even more, putting the Pico in Pico. All right, so that's Polar Pico. Now we are currently building the batch 2 of Scribbles. So as discussed in the previous episode of this, if you're not aware, go back and give it a watch, especially with regards to Scribbles. But we've made the appropriate changes, added some additional robustness and a couple of new features in terms of the hardware reliability to address the previous issue. They should be shipping out maybe by the end of next week, but certainly by the end of the month. So thank you so much for your patience. And if you had an order or you needed a replacement because of that issue we talked about, it'll be going out to you ASAP. That's Scribble. So lastly, I touched on this briefly in the last episode, or last month's episode, I should say, but we've got some really exciting stuff coming out this year, and one of these is a new MIDI splitter. So I'm excited to kind of finally show you this. Let me try and get the light glare off it. So this is the Nexus. Now this is the first, I guess, sort of final working revision. We have an updated design with a couple of just minor changes to the port layouts, so I can't show you it finished in an enclosure, but this thing is so cool. It's actually got the foundation of it in our MIDI through gizmo, which we released years ago now. It was a really cool, low-cost MIDI through splitter, and I thought, well, let's make this a proper MIDI through splitter, a full, beautiful anodized aluminum enclosure, as well as expand on the functionality. So we've got these 3.5mm jacks here. I won't go into all the details. We'll do a full product video, but these 8 3.5mm jacks and these 4 1/4" jacks here, we've got an input and an input, 2 inputs, that's right. And there's a little switch here which allows you to take the input from one side to the other. So to explain, this has two fully independent signal paths that are fully isolated from each other if you have two MIDI data flows in your setup. But flick of a switch, instead of 2 channels each with 5 MIDI outputs, you get 1 channel with 10 MIDI outputs. It's awesome. And every single output and input is switchable from type A, type B, and the outputs can also be tip or ring active using the dip switches as well. So stay tuned for that. All right, that's new stuff that's been going on. As always, we're working to improve our product shipping times and our product lead times. Basically, the start of this year, along with the back end of last year, has been a really big goal for us. So we're working really hard on that. So thank you for all of your patience, as well as continuing to flesh out our automated testing processes, which will be really important for some of the new hardware coming up. I can't wait for you guys to get your hands on. And I think that's about it. It's pretty warm in here, so I'm gonna get going. But if you have questions or comments, leave them down below. And as always, take care of yourself, and we'll see you next time. Cheers.